tree. The tree.
Welcome to Summoner's
I'm
Rift.
not tired.
30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
Great. Garen versus freaking Malzahar. That's not good. That was not good. Yeesh.
To open them.
Really, always a rough start.
I'll face anything, but won't look it in the eyes.
Oh boy. Good job, Emilio.
Every time
Getting
I
caught.
hold my branch, I see the tree.
No retaliation.
About the human sword. The beauty of the world desires to be real.
Did I switch something?
Oh, Mr. Dude, you almost tripped me. Oh, they go right through me. The light is so dim. What's wrong, Dream? Are you ready to bleed?
Never remember what's good on her. Should just do a freaking
I'll stay in the forest until
Elise
everyone
build.
touches those.
Oh, he's so close. He's so low. Dang, Malzahar. Getting wrecked by them tentacles.
I catch dreams for the humans.
Woo! Thanks for the stack,
I
Malzahar.
hear so many things.
Oh gosh, this is not a good lane. This is not good. Maybe I can scare him off. that the ignite?
Well met, human. Well left, dreams. A curving mind twists towards
Just wait a couple
possibilities.
seconds on this, cause I'm not gonna live.
Having a path to dream.
We'll get the other dot item.
Humans think trees stand
I don't
so
want to get that
tall,
dot item.
but they're lying
The
on
main
the
dot
air.
item.
You can see them snow in the creek.
Leandries. I don't want to get that. But I will get this.
A yawn is a smile before sleep.
Oh, that was close. He got dragon by himself? Did he help from bot lane? Man, he must have been low.
How a dream is born.
Dude, he's gotten all the frickin' scuttles. Lily's so frickin' slow. Jungling. Stupid.
So I can save my life.
Even they're 6. I'm so freaking behind. And now he's at Herald.
Things are strong. That's why I'm whispering. What lies beneath the surface? We lie down to see. I like talking to you, Dream.
Surprised he wasn't a hero.
When they say good night, do you think they mean it? I'll just look around for threats. Better times the charm.
Dude.
They reach.
Trees are more than gardens.
Help.
grow.
whatever. I don't need help. I'm not a stupid little freaking weak ass mage in the jungle now. Who's losing every freaking objective in the freaking jungle? No, that's not happening. And they got it! Oh my gosh. And they freaking got it. Of course. You know, that's how everything goes. When I lily a jungle, everyone gets everything and I get nothing. Get no help. This clueless Garen.
When they say good night, do you think they mean it?
Can't get a frickin' scuttle. This bot lane's hounding me. Can't get anything.
What lies beneath the surface?
Great. Now he's on dragon again. You can try and take it. It's not gonna friggin' happen. I don't know why you want to freaking go for it. He's just gonna take it. Yeah,
Quiet
see?
things are strong. That's why I'm whispering.
And there's no freaking jungle.
An ally has been slain.
And Thresh was down there.
Close your eyes, open them.
Your
Okay.
turret has been destroyed.
Okay. No! Dang it! Ah! Oh my gosh. So not fair. I have a clueless freaking team. Clueless. Glad I didn't waste my ult.
The world's biggest desire.
I did not see the Garen coming, so obviously we need ult.
I like talking to you, Dream. Some isn't.
And everything's warded.
No one saw that. No one saw that.
you doing? His ult's down. Why are you backing off? That's like the perfect time to go in now. Everything's been used, or at least Nocturne's not coming in. Oh my gosh, you ask for help, I come and help you, and you're like, no, we're done, bye. What the freak? What is wrong with these people? So freaking dumb. What was the point of leaving? Why did you leave? Why do I have a retarded team? Why do I have such stupid people so many times, so often? I'm gonna waste my freaking ult again.
Mid-morning dreams, just dreams.
Shut down.
I didn't even need my freaking ult for that. I don't know why I did that. I didn't get red buff because Nocturne was there. Oh my freaking gosh. This Garen just doesn't do anything. Oh my gosh, he's rushed Thorns. Why would you rush Thorns? Oh my gosh.
Enemy killing.
End this torture. Please, end it.
Now I just have to wait for my confidence to regrow.
There's no freaking point to this freaking game now.
See me.
No one does anything. I have no vision. I have no anything. I have nothing.
Was that me?
This team doesn't have anything.
An ally has been
Alawi should have rushed Sash, not Boots.
shut down.
Garen doesn't do anything. Good job on that Thorns, because that's doing something.
Dazed.
Do you think they'll
Amelia doesn't even have an item because he's rushed Boots.
Do they remember themselves? I'll stay in the forest until I learn how to use those.
Okay.
Dreams live on, even. Oh, Mr. Root, you almost tripped me.
He's the only person I killed. What is this non-starting item? Rush. What is this? What is this? A cleaver and thorns? Are these people must be freaking new to the game. Are you kidding me? What? This is just stupid.
Go right dream.
gonna win this.
Dreams are funny things.
Even if they had 2 people AFK on their freaking team, we'll still lose. Oh, I almost had it. Oh, that was 3 versus 4. And an oncoming 5. 3v5 basically. Oh my gosh. I hate looking at the stop lane. It's the most retarded thing I've ever seen. And then he runs away. Like, he's not gonna be doing anything else to you. Except, oh, I guess.
Dreams so the humans can chase them.
Lens, but what's the point? What's the freaking point?
You'll be safe with me, Dream.
There's vision everywhere.
Dreams help me in substance growth.
There's vision everywhere! There's no freaking point to this game! They have vision everywhere. He doesn't even need a lens. He's... Stop! My gosh, he's 1-1-11! 7-3! 4... Oh, why are we not... Why are we still playing this game? This poor Kaiser. Look at that, we finally killed the York. And we've lost 2 towers and an inhib for it. That's cool. And another inhib. I hate her W. It is so freaking stupid. It takes too long to freaking cast. So dumb. I hate her W. Why these idiots not forfeit? Oh, these people are gonna do Trinity. Like, oh my gosh. Why did we not forfeit? Why? What keeps these people going? I don't understand. The torture, they want to torture us. They want to torture us. That's what it is. They want to torture us. So freaking dumb. And dead. Instantly dead, Melio. And dead. Because he's 5-1. Has 2 items versus our Garen with Thorns. That's so brilliant, you know? Garen with Thorns. What the freak is a thorn supposed to do to a... Does it kill the minions when they attack you? Is that it? Because it didn't freaking help. So dumb.
For Trump.
Really?
We both are.
I'm for you.
Oh, look at this.
All right, guys. So we're flying to Tampa for a gay parade, and there's so much that goes on. I'm like, why not just bring you guys with me? So anyways, we're boarding in like right now.
Ooh, I got
Get a quick bite to eat, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me. So gay parade, Tampa, Florida.
Oh my god.
Come along.
The most frustrating thing you can get from a chest. A freaking champion
We're
chart.
going to Tampa.
When you get champion charts from just leveling.
Tampa, baby.
So dumb. Thanks for the useless thing. Most useless thing ever. Out of a box. I don't know why they put you in a box. So stupid. Absolutely useless.
Do you need my confirmation?
Oh, you're good.
Perfect.
Just need the card that you want the room on, please.
All right. Is the room
Oh, it's gonna
LGBTQ
come
friendly?
back. Wait, well,
Everything in Tampa
depends
is.
on this game.
Perfect. I was just making sure.
Absolutely.
We'll see what next.
So they're accepting?
You
next
going to Pride
round
this
is.
weekend?
I am going to parade.
I'm so mad I have to work my daughter today. She was like,
Again.
Mom,
No way.
what the hell? I'm like,
No way.
not
Are you
through
serious?
I'll be here.
Needs to be something.
I'm dressing up too.
What do you have?
I'm dressing up as a kangaroo, expressing my true self.
Like a full,
Yes, ma'am.
you know, it's going to be hot.
Yep, I'm ready for it. But I mean, I express myself that way.
I'm just saying, you know it's going to be hot, right?
I mean, I jump that way too. I mean, when I get happy,
Tampa's hot.
instead of laughing, I just jump like a kangaroo. So I gotta express myself that way.
She has no clue.
Stay hydrated.
Yes, ma'am. Or, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to assume your gender.
Look, you're okay.
All right, she, her?
Yes.
Perfect.
That's the mother in me. Stay hydrated. Because Tampa is unforgiving.
On there, it might say I'm a male, but I identify as king/aru.
Oh, she realized he's joking. Yeah! Full on trolling.
So me and Ty crashed last night, guys. I'm not gonna lie, we were both exhausted. So we snuck a little snooze, but today we're up and we're at Clearwater Beach. So there's a lot of baddies. It's spring break. So we're gonna troll a little bit, see if girls like my Women for Trump shirt or if the Riz just isn't there. So come along, let's have fun. There's just one day until the festival. So we're enjoying the last days of sunshine, unironically. So let's go. Excuse me, big dog. I have a question for you. I'm about to pick up some girls on the beach, okay?
Okay.
But I need help with pickup lines. So give me your best pickup line, and whatever you say, I'm using.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You walk up to her and you say, you drop this, and then you offer to put it in her hand,
And just hold it.
and then, yeah, just hold her hand.
Got it. All right, thanks, man. It's about to be this. I think you dropped something. Right here. Here, let me give it to you. Let me give it to you. How's that? W Riz.
What the hell?
That's like I was trying to do a pickup line.
Do you want a knuckle?
No, I was trying to hold your hand. Is it a good pickup line or no?
No, not
Do I need to
really.
work on that?
I
Work
think
on
I
it?
was just a little confused by
I'm
it.
sorry.
It's okay.
This is awkward now.
A little bit.
I'm sorry.
You're
okay.
making it awkward.
Let me try something else. What do you think about my
What?
shirt?
I think it's
It
cool
is
I
a
actually have
stupid
that
thing.
shirt.
Really? Does it
It's not pink, but I have the same one.
does it strike you that I'm like an alarmingly far right wing individual? Do you like that?
With that shirt, it appears that way.
Do you like that though, or should I like go like Women for Biden?
I think you should do whatever you want to do, not sure.
Thank you for your time. I won't hold your hand again.
Oh my
Thank you.
Take care.
Hey, Shotty.
That's
Where are you from?
Chicago. We're from Chicago.
I'm from Tennessee. But you're the only 10 I see.
Oh God! Oh God! That's the worst line I've ever heard. Woman for Trump. I'm for Trump.
Really?
We both are.
I'm for you.
Look at this. Well, it's nice meeting you.
Oh, okay. So it just gets them to walk away. Okay. Don't do that. Don't do that, guys. Excuse me, big dog. Big dog. Got a question for you. So I'm trying to riz girls on the beach. Okay. I need your help with a pickup line now. So whatever you give me is what I'm doing. So no pressure, but set me up for success.
The one with the Pearl Harbor? Hey, you gotta ask
Pearl
this guy
Harbor,
because-
that sounds good.
Because he knows all about it.
Yes.
Be like, you want to play Pearl Harbor? And they're like, what is Pearl Harbor? You're like, well, you know, you can be the Japanese, I can be American. You can just come blow me unexpectedly.
Oh, that's not a good one. Oh, that's not a good one. Oh my gosh.
You guys strike me as like frat boys. So I'm trying to riz girls on the beach. So I said you guys strike me as frat boys.
Okay.
So I'm trying to riz girls on the beach. You like my shirt? Thank you.
Women for Trump. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm trying to riz girls on the beach. I'm gonna take whatever your pickup line is and go do it. So
I gotta think on this one.
See, like I'm literally out of the game, so like
you're taking?
where I was, but I'm
Okay.
getting back in the game.
Okay.
Rebound.
Rebound. I'm rebounding right now.
Fair enough.
I'm literally point forward, center.
Fair enough.
Playing forward, the 6'7".
Yeah,
dummy
6,
god.
like
Oh
literally
my God.
like a stretch 5.
On 2K
Fair
was
enough.
crazy.
I got you a better idea. How about this? I want you to be my hype man, and let's go up to a girl, and you tell her like, this guy just like saved my cat, and the cat was gonna die, but this guy saved it, and I want you to go out with him. Can you be my hype man?
No, I got you.
Really?
I actually got you.
Okay.
No, I seriously.
All right, let's go. All right, so we've spotted him.
Ooh, is he gonna
It's time to pursue.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. All day. All day. Let me sing this.
All right, let's ride, bro.
Okay. I love
Excuse
you.
me? Sorry guys, I hate to bother you. Before I go any further, do you guys have boyfriends? No? Okay, step one is clear. All right, so I saw you guys from like a distance, and I feel like I really want to pursue one of
Getting
y'all's
a
social
fast for you.
medias. So where do I go from here? This is my hype man.
Sash.
I just saved his cat last night. So
Yeah, he literally climbed a tree, almost like this, but a little bit taller. He climbed a tree to save my cat, and since then, I mean, I'm just down for this guy. Like, I mean, great guy.
here and like I support women right here, women for Trump. So like, if you guys want to have like
Man, I started
kitchen
on this
cooking,
side
like
more than
I'm wanting a housewife.
That's for
So
sure.
like I'm supporting like revoking women's rights and all that stuff. So is that good enough for your Snapchat?
Yeah.
Let's go! We got the Snapchat! We got the Snapchat! Nice,
I've
nice.
been enjoying the weather.
Let's go.
I don't wanna lie to you like this. I don't wanna fight with you like this. We gon' pay the price if we blind.
And just like that, we're back in Nashville. I hope you guys enjoyed the prank. It was super fun. Riz girls, it definitely worked. My Riz game is just top notch. But let me know if you guys enjoyed the vlog. It was something different, not your average Bo Diddle video, but I'd love to make more of these. Or if I should just create my own channel for just vlogs. Comment down below, let me know. But yeah, let's get this video like 1,000 likes. And don't forget to support me on Locals for just $8 a month. You can help fund all of this stuff we're doing. If you've watched this long, you're obviously a big fan. So please help support.
Uh-oh.
It's Denmark.
Trans women are women.
I'm nervous. But I meant like I've never met anyone that's not.
What's this kid supposed to say here? Why are you nervous? Sitting there in front of a huge man dressed up as a woman.
Yeah, really,
Of course, stunning and brave, you two, but what's a kid supposed to do?
I can't really explain.
Is this your first time seeing a drag queen?
Yeah.
Kids have seen drag queens out in every program known to man. I like the scripted CBS program, though. It's outstanding.
How does that make you feel?
Excited,
you get
but
a
a
number?
little bit nervous.
Right.
I'm a little
bit nervous.
I'm here with Ulla Henriksen
Right.
to do the famous Scandinavian.
So let's recount here. Dylan was at the Plaza Hotel, probably around 2000 a night. Expensive bathrobes, promoting his show, or sorry, YouTube. Dylan's show on every platform known to man, coming soon to a theater near you, an Oprah show. And so now Dilly's in Scandinavia.
Hold plunge. I'm going into the water. Ready?
I wonder if Dylan did that before. I know we saw the thing on Price is Right. Dylan did the voice and the theatrics. I understand Dylan's an actor, but naturally, that's my question for you. Naturally, is this Dylan's way to behave like this? Because it's Days of Girlhood, right? So is this how a girl behaves, or how Dylan behaved before Stunning and Brave Girlhood? Wow, look at that facial expression. I don't know if the face feminization, Stunning and Brave surgery, it seems like it made his face, or sorry, YouTube, her face worse. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like the look Dilly was going for here.
Cute guy asks me to go in with him.
You guys trying to ramp up his Instagram following. Let me explain how that works.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well done.
All right, is normalizing the bulge, shrinking the bulge, you think? Shrinkage, remember that from Seinfeld?
How do women know about shrinkage? Isn't it common knowledge?
That's a good one. Dylan is very awkward in a swimsuit. He's a thin human, very thin, and I'm not getting feminine really at all. I don't know if Dylan's on hormones. Oh, no, Dylan is on hormones. Dylan said Dylan was taking estrogen and hormone blockers. Remember that, day 20 so of girlhood.
I'm not well. I'm not well.
No, I don't think you're well, Dylan. It doesn't seem like this is going as planned. I don't know, answer me this, you fine viewers. 12 months from now, Dylan is better off or worse off than pre-Days of Girlhood. When Dylan was just an actor, right, on Broadway, a fabulous gay man. Is Dylan gonna be better or worse?
I love Denmark.
Yeah, I bet.
You know what? No, I don't think they need a separate bathroom. Trans women are women, and they can go and use my bathroom.
So now trans women, let me make sure I understand here. This is a big push by this group of people that aren't trans. I mean, the biggest push I see is from people that are outside of the trans community. Trans women are women. They can use whatever bathroom they want based on them identifying as it. So women in the audience, or parents with children, are trans women, and should they go wherever they want? Because remember, I can identify as a woman right now in California and use any facility I want, sit in the Santee YMCA locker room and just hang out if I'd like.
Ladies' bathroom with all the rest of us ladies, because they are ladies.
Do you realize this changed within the last couple of years? They changed the definition of woman. So now trans women, we've taken the trans part off, which I was fine with that. Trans women are not trans women, they're just women. That's what it is now. Now, if you're okay with that definition, awesome. But are most of you, do you think that makes sense to the rest? I mean, I just have a hard time with it. I'm on YouTube, so I'm really grasping to keep I'm getting banned. But if you haven't, if you're not, go to the description. Follow me on Locals. Do videos nowhere else. Of course, I'm on Rumble. Uncensored videos. They're a tad different than here. People tend to like them better. Check me out there.
And use the bathroom with the rest of us. I will even accompany them.
Okay, that's great.
You just sound ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Let me break this person down for you. She wants attention. She wants to get I stand with attention. She wants to get little people liking her video because she's a vapid individual. I mean, look at the person. I feel sorry for just the whole phenotype, the look, right?
No way.
And this is how she gets attention, by saying something that most people you talk to aren't supportive of.
He's totally doing it.
There's no issue.
Sauce out of your throat.
There's never been an issue with trans women using the women's bathroom.
And there wasn't if people passed, right? You didn't know. Say you're a woman. I sent my daughter in who was 12. I see a person coming in, they're passing, or they look good enough, you don't really think about it. But it's changed radically. Where you've got people with beards like me who say, I'm a woman, I'm going to go in. And it made you uncomfortable because they're very pushy. This group of people is very demanding. And they just keep pushing. And it makes you, as a person, a female or parent or anybody,
Yes.
for that
No.
matter, this is kind of uncomfortable. They're so demanding.
Sorry.
Got it.
I mean, if a man wears a dress to try to get access, that's still a man.
They got the
It's not-
dragon
Wait
in
a
2
second
kills.
here. If a man wears a dress,
Where
tries to
were
get
you,
access,
Botlane?
he's still a man. What does that even mean?
Useless
I can
freaking
identify, and I'm
Lux.
DNA a
Useless
man.
Lux.
But now I say I'm a woman that second. I don't
Inbound.
wear a dress because dresses are part of the social construct, right? Remember that?
A woman.
Fabulous.
Trans women are women.
Right, right.
Freaking
And they're
great.
free
I
to use the
love
bathroom
useless
with me.
Luxes.
If you haven't heard, there was another thing here in
She fits the stereotype perfectly of the white middle class person who hates herself, hates the country, effectively is a Maoist, going through struggle sessions with you and me. If you don't comply, they will come to you with the force of their body.
Nashville today. I'm devastated for the kids. I'm devastated for the families.
Right.
I cannot and also can believe that this continues to happen. Kids deserve to go to school and come back home. Kids deserve to grow into adults. This unnecessary.
See, they say the talking points you'll agree with. Like, of course, everybody wants schools to be safe, right? But from the time I grew up, 70s and 80s in school, right? Follow me here. There was way more access to pew-pews. Way more access. There was no issues at schools. None. We're not addressing the underlying cause. Now, I understand we got to fix that problem, but we've outlawed drugs completely illegal, and the drug use has gone skyrocketed. We've said you can't use drugs, and people use more drugs than ever.
Well.
So you can say you can't have guns, and we're going to take them all, but we've got a border that's porous. Anything you want can come through that border. I know what you're going to say. Well, most of them are made in America. I'm going to say no, because a lot of them in circulation, and plenty of them come from China, Russia. They come, all the stuff for vitamin F, right?
Oh.
The street drug comes from China, comes right up, made south the border, right to us. So if you don't think firearms can for people that want to do nefarious things, you're kidding yourself.
Violence and gun violence is a direct result of not having enough gun control and gun laws.
Right.
And I know it's because recently
So we've added more drug laws. We've enforced them more. We've got more drug use than ever. If we had more gun laws, we enforce them more, is that going to increase gun violence? And most of the gun violence you see is with a pistol. So first they start with the AR-15, and they say, well, we got to come for your first pistol, 65-year-old woman who drops off deposits at night. We got to come for your shotgun for your hunting, your bird hunting. And we got to take away your deer rifle. This will not stop with just this. And the problem is bigger. The problem is parenting. The problem is we've got a lot of mental illness problem in the country that's not being addressed. Primarily needs to be addressed by the parents, identifying these people when they're young, getting them into diversion programs. The government can't do this. Don't kid yourself.
Tennessee lawmakers and Governor Bill Lee have been focused on banning drag queens and banning drag shows and not banning guns.
Okay, well, guns are a Second Amendment right. The governor can't do it. Now, of course, as you've seen, every state can add restrictions that are onerous, quite frankly, unconstitutional in my mind, but will that have solved this problem? You could address two problems at once. You could say, I don't want grown men doing drag shows in schools. I don't want 12-year-olds taking hormone blockers. You could address that. If they wanted to, they could address firearms at the same time. They could do that. But the issue, if you look at the list of the last few people who have been the school bad guys, they have been all of this nature of this last one. If you follow me, they've all been rainbow.
But you know what? Drag queens don't kill people. And if I was a parent right now,
But you're not. But you're not a parent. So you don't really have a real skin in the game here. As a parent, and as somebody who grew up when there's lots of firearms, and who's seen this, who's been an observer of this for 50-plus years, right? I've watched how they press a new law in, it's supposed to help you. You get subjugated by it, and nothing really gets better.
I would feel a lot safer handing my kid off to a drag queen.
Oh, no!
Dropping my kid off at school.
That is
I don't know how these people sleep at
The fake tears. They don't have a kid. I mean, these people, these fake tears, crocodile tears. This is classic. The white middle-class liberal who is dangerous, man. They are the worst because they'll go wherever the wind blows them. That's all they do.
Knowing that they focus on hating queer communities instead of actually saving children.
Nobody hates. And the Nashville law, I mean, if you haven't read it, you can skim through it. It just talks about minors taking cross-sex hormones and hormone blockers. In particular, children should be at drag shows. Drag shows were never intended, let me get it out, for children. I've been to them. They were adult humor. That was the point. Why they wanted to bring children to them, I don't know. The parents just virtue signaling, I guess.
Bill is going to be grieving for quite some time. Once I have some resources of where to give money to, I'm going to be...
All right, so here we go again. I stand with hashtag.
Gosh,
no!
with the freaking exhaust.
In this movement to get some normalcy back to our culture, right?
Lux,
everything since
Lux,
the summer of peaceful protest has been imploding.
She didn't even freaking use her heels.
But yeah, we have other people who say
oh my
the world's coming
gosh,
to an end.
Lux,
the
you're
laws
bad.
Are asymmetrical.
You are
We've got
bad.
people like this
Lost
to say
us to the dragon
problem with
again.
The school issue is due to
I blame
firearms,
everything
but
on
never
you,
just the
piece
mental
of
health
crap.
component, which starts back with the parents. Let's just
I
say
can't
that.
believe it.
We can't
I
have the
can't.
government fixing that mental health
Oh
component.
my gosh.
Parents can identify when a kid lives off.
That was all
when a
your
kid's
fault.
doing something. I don't know if you saw the
Literally
headline.
all
I put
your
this on
fault.
Twitter. If you're not following me, you should. The headline read, the Nashville lady, right? You know, the pew pew lady, was hiding her firearms from her parents. She was
all
27.
your fault.
I mean, you know,
all
this
of
isn't
it.
right. We got to parent these damn kids. I know there's a lot of moving parts here.
Get your
Made
freaking
this
tower,
far.
dude.
Thank you for your time. Make sure to follow me
You're
on
not gonna
Locals.
get it.
It's free to watch videos. Rumble, I do
tower.
videos nowhere else. People tend to like them more. I can be honest
My
with you. I'm
bottling
not
is
holding my words back
absolutely
as hard, and I can just talk like two adults, like you and I.
I start running over there, start videotaping, and I see some blood, and so I just thought maybe like there was a bloody nose or something. My brain wasn't really allowing me to believe what just happened. I knew he was dead. This is my first time ever experiencing this, right? So like, my brain's just like, he's dead. Like, and so I just started screaming because I don't know what else to do. The murderer is standing right there.
What are you talking about? Ziggs, you should have gotten the tower. Ziggs should have gotten the tower.
What's going on?
Bot lane
everyone?
is
Jeremy here
hopeless.
From the court.
There's
I hope
a
we have an
stupid
absolutely
freaking
wonderful
Lux.
day. Social media does some
A
strange
stupid
things
Lux.
to people, doesn't it? The thirst for clout.
We have a retarded
is
Lux.
second to none.
Okay.
It's a bizarre
Absolutely
phenomenon
dumb.
that makes what would be a normal person do
Screw
some
you,
of the most heinous
bitch.
stuff I've ever seen. This particular TikToker might have finally taken the cake after a terrible incident happened in Canada. The mindset of someone to then pick up their phone
Why didn't you
and
kill
film
her?
it,
Did you miss her?
really makes me weep
Oh my
for
god.
the future. That said, the immense backlash received by this kid does
Oh my God.
seem to bring some
Ridiculous.
amount of faith. So a terrible thing.
Where are you,
happened,
Lux? Seraphine was up there.
And of course,
gosh,
what
this
people
Lux is
do
retarded.
is they get out and film it. By the way, it's a quick
Retarded,
shout out.
retarded.
Coffee Brand Coffee, my coffee company, just launched 2 additional cold brew products.
Absolutely
I'm going to leave a link in the
retarded.
description below. Our Colombian cold brew is already immensely popular.
this Lux.
It's probably
I
our
hate
top
so many
3
Luxes.
selling
I
item
hate
on the
all the
website.
Luxes.
So now we
Oh my
turned our
gosh.
dark
And now
roast
their
and our
bottom is
Ethiopian
fed.
light roast
Straight up
into
fed.
pre-measured cold brew bags. They just
Because
go
she
right
doesn't
in
know
a
how to
jug
freaking
like
play.
this, sit in your fridge overnight. You've got a big old pot of cold brew waiting for you in the morning to test out. I put together a sampler pack too. Be awesome if you gave that a try. So there's a situation in Canada, one that I could make a whole separate video about because of the way that because of what it really says about society. A father decided that it was not okay that some dude was vaping right next to his kid. Totally reasonable thing to do, right? A dad says, hey, can you not blow your grape flavored vape smoke in my child's face? And what happened next was truly awful. The individual whom he asked to stop doing that went after him with a knife and ended his life. Just terrible. I don't really understand
I'm gonna carry
how
this
this
stupid
stuff
freaking
happens.
Lux. I'm gonna
How
carry this
people,
bitch.
Like, get to this point in their life where somebody's like, hey, could you not, like, blow your secondhand smoke on my toddler, please? And then now 2 lives are ruined, right? And a family's destroyed. By the way, this happened in front of his child. Okay. So while this is happening, which is already just awful, okay, a TikToker was in the area and ran over and filmed it.
Oh no.
Posed in front of the guy's lifeless body, smiling and joking, uploaded it to Twitter. TikToker who recorded a Canadian dad's passing
Oh my gosh,
in front of his daughter and fiance at a Starbucks is now facing backlash after he allegedly, he didn't allegedly, he did, took a selfie next to the body and smiled while filming the entire thing. Alex Bodger filmed the video of Paul Stanley Schmidt, the incident. He goes by whatever on TikTok. I'm sure he's received plenty of hate for it. He appeared to smirk when he filmed the unfolding event, according to the news outlet, and he said, "This MFer just died, bro. He just died, bro. Holy F." I don't really understand. Like, I mean, this face is just awful. You can see, obviously, there's, you know. Then here's the thing.
No.
He came back. He came out and
Threw him
apologized.
away from my
like,
basics.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Attack
I was
him!
in shock. I didn't. He went back to the very
Oh my
next. He went back
gosh.
very next day.
Stupid
and took
bot
another
lane.
selfie in the
You're
exact
so
same
worthless.
spot. So his entire pathetic apology about how, oh, I only smiled because it was like, I was like in shock, or I didn't really know how to process what had happened. It's just a lie.
So bad.
He really was smiling because he knew that he was going to go viral on TikTok. That's all this kid cared about.
Oh, Samir.
Quote, "This is the TikTok generation. I fear for our terrible future," one Twitter user wrote. Another wrote, "I was so disturbed by his actions and words that I was honestly speechless. No emotion, period." Now, here's the thing. Again, this is why I'm saying the kid is full of it, all right? He told Global News Network that he was traumatized by the incident. Yeah, that's why he went back the next day and took another picture smoking a cig, firing up a heater in front of the red-stained concrete. I don't believe you. I believe that you are a psychopath.
So freaking stupid.
It's not something you think you would ever see walking down the street. Then why did you pick up your phone to record it? Why didn't you help the guy? I mean, what is wrong with
she's
people?
not even good. She's just laying stuff.
You know, why didn't you pick up a brick and cave in the attacker's head? I could understand being frozen in fear, but you weren't frozen in fear. You picked up your cell phone, you recorded the incident, and then you took a selfie in front of it. Then you went back the next day.
I'm behind on
Whoever
my
this kid's
jungle,
parents
'cause
are,
everyone's taking my
failed
jungle.
miserably. He told the every
She
time I think
doesn't
about the
have a
situation, I get this feeling in my chest with pure fear. But according to one Twitter user, he also took a selfie next. He took a selfie next to the body, and then even returned the following day to smoke at the scene. The man later posted a video in which he tried to explain his actions, saying he tends to smile during uncomfortable situations. Yeah, I know a lot of people who are traumatized, you know, in these type of situations, definitely return to the scene where it happened, you know, 12 hours later to take another selfie in front of it. He says, "So I'm walking down the road and I see what I thought was a fight. So I started running over there. I started videotaping. And then I saw some blood and I just thought maybe there was a bloody nose or something.
Oh my
brain
gosh,
wasn't
the
allowing me to
shield.
believe what
The
was
delayed
happening.
shield.
And I knew he had
What?
passed. But at the same time, this was my first time ever experiencing it. My brain was just like, oh, he's not alive. So I start screaming. No, dude, you were smiling. And everything that happened after that, the fact that you came back to the scene.
Hello everyone, it's me, Jared Gaming here, and you may have noticed we're doing a pretty serious video. I mean, judging from the title, obviously. I'm sorry for not looking at my best. I'm sorry for this extremely odd camera placement. I just want to get this video out of the way because I felt like this was something that was kind of needed to do, I think. I don't know. So, before we get started, I do want to ask this one question. how many of you guys know that I, Jared Gaming, am a Christian? I'm a man of God, I'm a follower of Christ, and I wholeheartedly stick to that belief. No matter how tough the road is and all that type of stuff. You probably may also notice, because if you look at my description below, which I don't know if anyone ever sees that, but if you look at my description below, I made it very important. At the very bottom of it, it says, God bless you all. No matter what video it is, I make it very, very, very importantly clear that that is always in my description.
Oh my
God! I don't know how long I've been doing that for, but it's been for long enough to where
have a team
I feel
and
like
we don't.
someone would have noticed it by now.
And Lux is dead again.
So, with that out of the way, this is something that I wanted to get off my chest for some time. One of the, I guess, biggest things that was holding me back from doing a lot of YouTube was that I feel like as more and more time has passed, and as more and more change has grown into just the community of social media in general, I feel like it's been a lot more harder to be honest and transparent with my community, or even just anyone in general. The biggest reason simply is that I feel like I have a lot of beliefs or a lot of opinions that you can ideally say are not okay, or at least I don't know. Now, as a Christian myself, I should make this very, very, very clear. I am not here to condemn or to act against or to belittle you guys for some of the choices you may make related to the LGBT community. However, I simply don't agree with the action of being part of that community. Obvious reasons being that it goes against my beliefs and the, things and the morals I stand on. I don't know how I was gonna follow up with that. I think this should be clear. I am a Christian, and again, no condemning, no act against you people. I just want to be on your guys' level for 1 second, and I want to tell you guys that I am genuinely afraid for what's going on in this country. Now, for a while I've been keeping silent about it. I've been observing some of the extreme horrendous amount of things that have been happening, for like the past 3 years. First it started with COVID, and then it started with the whole presidential election fraud controversy thing. Then what is it? Inflation, freaking taxes, everything that's been going on in the country, all this insane stuff. And then it got to an even more extreme degree where now it started getting into a territory where the LGBT community, which is a community that I have not any, quarrels? That's probably not the word. I've had nothing against at all. They did their own thing, that was okay. They chose to do what they wanted, and that was okay. And for the longest time, I was completely okay with that. Now, admittedly, I wasn't really that big of a fan of Pride Month, but that's just on them. They celebrate what they want. You know what? Okay, that's fine. There's no wrong with that, I guess. I mean, it's obnoxious, but like, come on, we're all obnoxious at the end of the day, right?
Seriously?
Now, that was my view of just that in general thing. I don't know where it started, but it was sometime last year where this started becoming not its own thing, but it started becoming a much, much, much bigger issue. It started with a few small things, like the two smaller, I don't know if they're really necessarily small, but one of the two things that stuck out to me was, or at least one of them, was, if I'm not mistaken, it was during Pride Month, was a baseball game, and during that month, because it was Pride Month, everyone said, hey, you're all gonna wear these goofy outfits with the rainbow flag on it, all to represent our pride of being part of the LGBT community, stuff like that. One or more or a couple Christians said, no, you guys do that if you want, but this goes against our beliefs. We don't want to be wearing that uniform and all the types of stuff, so we would please like to decline your offer of, giving us a uniform with the rainbow flag on it and stuff like that. What happened was, admittedly, kind of not surprising. First, they got blasted on the internet, and then they got kicked out from the team. If I'm not mistaken, I might have to look it up again, but and probably show it on screen to my right. But there's been multiple stories like that. There's just another one that I've heard. I can't remember which one it was, but I think it was like a similar thing, except it happened last year instead of the one that I was talking about that happened in 2021. But Yeah, that's my, that's one of them. And then it started getting to a bigger issue where I feel like this is something that everyone knows, but they choose not to talk about it. And so, I don't know if you saw the viewer discretion warning at the beginning, or the fact that this video is not monetized. I have no idea if this video is age restricted or not. I have no idea what's going on with this video, but this is just me trying to speak my heart out, or at least attempting to. I don't know what speaking my heart out looks like, but you know, here goes, right? The biggest part is when it started involving kids. I feel like that's like one of the biggest criticisms that a lot of people hear, that they like to accuse being completely outside of the LGBT community. And let me just say, that's not true at all. I've actually seen individuals, well, not many individuals, but I have seen people in the LGBT community that have been speaking out against the fact that we're, you know, involving children into this matter. There's this weird thing that's going on where it's like we're bending the rules to be something that only benefits the LGBT community and ignores the fact that we're involving kids. Kids cannot get tattoos, cannot do drugs, cannot, you know, do all these things that are considered to be like, you know, you can only do it when you're 18 or you're 21 and all that type of stuff. However, we are allowing kids to do things to their own bodies that are irreversible and can 9 times out of 10 lead to some very, very detrimental mental health problems later in the future. And I'm talking about surgeries, or transgender transitioning surgeries, I think is what it's called. It's probably something like that. Now, one of the most recent examples of something like that, I have no idea if you guys have heard of this situation, but it was this, I don't remember the full name of this individual, but her, or I can't remember what was the original gender, but her name was Jazz. And if I'm not mistaken, the long story short of it, at least if you get to the behind the scenes of that individual, is that she had one buttload of an abusive mother. That mother would not let up on making sure that her little child were to become trans, even if it meant strangling her in the neck so that way she could be trans.
I would be so mad if she goes away to college and that thing seals up.
Oh my god.
Bring her neck. Can you imagine?
She would do everything in her ability to make sure she was trans, and lo and behold,
Wait!
there's like a 50 you know,
why are there 3 people and I have none?
I can't remember this one other instance, but there was one other where it was this guy who was like super upfront about being transgender. He had all these stories, all this media coverage and all that types of stuff. And then recently he came out to say, hey, don't be trans.
Why am I bottling
just
such
don't.
crap?
So I've been looking at these situations. I've been thinking like, once again, I'm just, it's very concerning. That's really just the heart of it. It's just very concerning. The one thing that tipped, I'm not sure how to transition into this. The one thing that really tipped me over the edge was, as the time of me recording this, I think it happened yesterday. I'm assuming you guys have heard the situation that happened in, I think it's Tennessee, Nashville, if I'm not mistaken, where I guess to put it very lightly, a private Christian school got invaded by a very angry trans individual. Several people died, including kids. I'll just leave it at that. You could probably get the picture, right? So that happened, and then the most wildest things were happening after that situation today, and presumably tomorrow. Yesterday, there was like this whole thing going around where people demanded to get like answers on what was the transgendered individual's motivations, on why the individual shot up. Wait, it's gonna get demonetized anyway. It doesn't matter. Decided to go against that whole school, do a bunch of pew-pew-pewing, and take the kids' lives, take several 60-year-olds' lives. That was not released, and I think it was the police. The police, for some reason, refused to like release some sort of like manifesto about it or something. I have no idea about this stuff. That might be something I have to do a lot of research on, just so I can double check to make sure I'm right on that. Today there's like this weird back and forth between the people who were, you know, crying out for these kids that died, and the people who were defending the individual who I can't sugarcoat it anymore. It's impossible. The individual who terrorized the school. There is an actual back and forth that was happening between defending the kids that died, saying their whole thoughts and prayers for them, and defending the individual who terrorized the school in the first place, saying that, oh, she was the victim because she's a transgender individual or something like that. I don't know. Whatever it was that they were saying, it blew my mind. Like, I was genuinely mind blown of the idea that we're at a point in time where we are now defending people who shot up a school
unless I have Flash
because they're trans. Like, that's the end of it. I don't know if it was a coincidence that it happened to have been a private Christian school, because, you know, Christians, we have our own beliefs and morals that, depending on how you look at it, go completely against the LGBT community and what they stand for. So I can't imagine it being that much of a coincidence that transgendered individual decided to shoot up a school filled with Christian little kids. Now here's where this stuff started getting wild. If you thought that was crazy, ignore the fact that I mispronounced crazy. Just wait until you hear this. I have no idea what this is about. I have a basic understanding of it. I have no idea if this is happening or not, but this is something that I told my family about, and this is something that we're genuinely, like, afraid of, and that we were advised to stay home. Or at the very least, don't be around places that are considered to be, like, public areas, right? I don't know if have you guys heard of this whole Vengeance Day? It's something about vengeance, something about that. From my understanding, I don't know if this is what the gist of it was, but I remember a very specific tweet. I think it might have been taken down by now, but it was a tweet actively supporting the idea that transgendered individuals actually get gun training, so that way they can go on a legitimate massacre on a whole lot of people for, well, obvious reasons.
Fantastic.
They're transphobic. They're homophobic.
No one has anti-L except Silas.
They might be racist, all that types of stuff. And that's where I have to say,
and Silas is just getting attacked.
What's going on? What happened?
And he dies.
What is this country? This country was built by the people in believing God.
Yep. She's got her
Wait,
W.
I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which we stand, one nation under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Now we're defending people going on a genocide route? What happened? How did this happen? I mean, I can take a few guesses on how this happened. Admittedly, this is a bunch of choices that our monkey-brained president made, and you know, a bunch of other stuff, right? But this is where I gotta ask, like, why are we at this point to where we need to speak up against people advocating for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 whole...
Welcome back to Fleck Socks Podcast, episode 75. Today on the show, after a trans week of terrorism, the trans community doubles down in Cringe of the Week. Then we do a Man on the Street collab where we ask people, would you say the N-word to end world hunger? Then a guy gets stabbed to death in front of his kid for no reason in Vancouver. We'll tell you why it's time to leave the cities. Then, is Walmart being racist? Some shoppers think so after finding security tags on certain items. And last but not least, would you cheat on your husband with your celebrity crush? We'll go over all this and more. It's Fleckus Talks, a podcast, episode 75, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Fleckus Talks, the podcast featuring Richard Bradboy.
All right, this week's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Undertac. Guys, I will never waste your time with bad sponsors, and this week is no different. Undertac underwear is easily the most comfortable underwear I've ever worn. It's made from modal, which is basically cotton on steroids, 50% more moisture absorption, antimicrobial. It doesn't fade or shrink or stretch. This stuff is fantastic. It's my favorite underwear I've ever worn. No holes, no problems with the dryer. When you cook them in the dryer too long, it leaves holes in your underwear. That does not happen with Undertac. Undertac is super durable, and it costs about 30% less than the competition, probably 30% less than the underwear you're wearing right now. Undertac.com is the website. Use code FLECUS20 for 20% off site-wide, and they have a money-back satisfaction guarantee. So if you don't like it, they will give you a full refund. That's not going to happen because you're going to love this stuff. It's undertech.com. Use code FLECUS20. And on top of all that, Undertech donates a percentage of their profits to veteran-run organizations that fight human trafficking. Full 360 win. Undertech.com. Use FLECUS20 as the code. Let's get into housekeeping. All right. Thank you to Undertech for sponsoring once again.
Yep.
Our favorite underwear to try and blow out.
And you can't blow it out. That's the nice part.
Yeah, it's unblowoutable. All right, what's causing heart attacks and blood clots this week? According to a Instagram post from, I believe, Bayer.
Yeah.
It's when your home team is playing.
Yeah, which we've covered, but
they're reiterating with March Madness, I'm assuming.
They're jumping on it. Yeah, exactly.
So be careful.
So take your baby aspirin and get another vaccine, and good luck.
Speaking of, there's another thing causing heart attacks and blood clots this week. This is on the front page of an Australian newspaper. What is the headline?
It says, Amy followed the rules on COVID jabs. Was that a fatal mistake? Which is, great. They're actually calling it what it is.
According to this newspaper article in Australia, I guess.
Yeah, and she was young and beautiful and slowly deteriorated after the first and second Pfizer shot. So, R.I.P., I guess.
That's very sad. Sorry to hear that. So I guess according to that article, the vaccine could also be causing blood clots and heart attacks, which is weird because there's so many other things that cause heart attacks and blood clots. You don't think it would be something that is given out from Big Pharma,
Mm-hmm. That everyone was encouraged to take in a really hasty way, and
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. All right, moving on. No doppelgangers this week.
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone's upset or not. I like the doppelgangers, but it's kind of getting old. We have a few random ones that maybe we'll cover in Bonus Land, so sign up for Bonus Land if you want to maybe see it there.
Yeah, the problem is we're always tempted to do it because we've turned on the faucet by doing it 3 weeks in a row, so my DMs are full of random flecuses, and it's kind of sad, but, we can't do a bit forever, right?
Yeah, you can't do a bit forever. Everyone knows that. We have some Rob stuff to get to in a little bit. Before we do, we're on high alert here at the show.
Yeah.
Second high alert is the second highest level, right below high alert. Mm-hmm. High alert is when you carry a gun on your chest everywhere you go.
Open carry.
So we're not there yet, but Rand Paul's one of his staffers was just stabbed randomly in D.C. Kind of gets your spidey senses tingling. The stuff going on with all the trans people. It's time to raise the security alert level here at the show.
Yeah, and the Rand Paul attacker had just been released from prison the day before. So, and we don't think that's politically motivated. We think it's just street rap motivated.
Yeah.
But, it was in broad daylight in D.C. The D.C. district attorney is, not prosecuting, 67% of all criminals.
Yeah.
So, imagine being a cop in D.C. and all they do is they go, got another one for you, boss. I sprinted over the fence. I dove through this, and I tackled him, and it was the craziest chase you've ever seen. And the DA just goes, all right, let him go.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is. So
yeah, exactly. That's what's going on. And I was thinking with all this stuff, obviously the trans people are going kind of crazy. Yeah. I saw a commercial, a behind-the-scenes thing for Joker 2.
Yeah,
where Lady Gaga is in Joker 2. And Lady Gaga is obviously a huge advocate for the LGBTQ community.
She's a twink magnet. The twinks flock to her, right?
Yeah. An FAGHAG is another word for it.
Don't know if you can get away with that one, buddy.
We'll see. That's just an old term that we didn't even say, but that's what they call her.
Yep.
So
we're like Webster's dictionary here. We're not saying it.
We're telling you
we're
what
defining
it is.
it.
So with Joker 2 coming out, I think it comes out next year, right around election time. We have all this trans animosity, these trans conflicts. Mm-hmm. I think the LGBTs look at Lady Gaga as kind of a spokesperson for their community. So I think there's a timeline where the trans people feel empowered and then they embrace the Joker characters and they think they're the Joker because they're misunderstood and society's against them and it's on us to make a change even if it's ugly, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that could be something that's coming if things go south and it doesn't look good, Do
you want to get your updated Michelle Obama options also?
I do have an update to the Michelle Obama thing. As podcast listeners know, I think in 2024, Derek Chauvin's trial is going to come back up. They're going to let him go because technically he didn't do anything against police protocol.
Yeah.
Yeah, the knee on the back is what they taught. The based on the obituary. Not the obituary. What's the
autopsy?
The autopsy. Yeah, George Floyd.
The high fentanyl levels.
High fentanyl levels. He was saying, "I can't breathe" before he went down. I believe he was alive when he was going into the ambulance. You could see him on camera with the drugs in his mouth, so he clearly swallowed the drugs. I think there's a world in 2024 where Derek Chauvin is let off, everyone goes crazy, then Michelle Obama runs, and it's like a pushback against racism. Oh, this George Floyd murderer got off, vote for Michelle Obama. And then there's the X factor where we involve the trans community here. If Michelle Obama is a man, and then it comes out she's a man, now we're gonna like intersect all these things: BLM, racism, transphobia, and then Michelle Obama is the perfect person to run on behalf of all these oppressed groups in 2024.
Yep.
So my options for that are ding, ding, ding. They're going high.
Yeah. And in case you're wondering, it is still schizo season. So
yeah, it's schizo season,
as evidenced by the Michelle Obama trans, Derek Chauvin free presidential trajectory.
Imagine that. Imagine that chaos that pops off from that. Derek Chauvin free. What are we gonna do? All this racism. Oh, everyone's attacking trans people. What are we gonna do? Oh, we're going to have trans Michelle Obama come back and fight back against the racist anti-trans people. That's like the perfect timeline for them. Yeah. They'll blow us out. They'll win by 20 million votes. All right, moving on. Karine Jean-Pierre, is that her name?
Yeah, KJP.
KJP allegedly got into a small accident.
Yeah, fender bender pretty much. She rear-ended someone is what it looks like.
And then it looks like she was slurring her words and drunk. Allegedly, and then the cops just let her go. They left her car, someone picked her up, and they never breathalyzed her or tested her or anything like that. So if you're a cop or you're in the DC area and you know anything about this, Karine Jean-Pierre alleged DWI, please message us. Fleckus@fleckistalks.com is my email. If you have any tips about this or any inside info, we would really like to get to the bottom of that because it sounds pretty intriguing.
Yeah, and it says DC Metro Police refusing to release body cam footage of the Karine Jean-Pierre incident. So,
yeah,
there is body cam footage out there. We need a Freedom of Information Act request or something.
Let's see that stuff.
Yeah, but witnesses said she was slurring her words and had difficulty standing straight, and then a mystery driver picked her up shortly after police arrived. So the cops were doing a little handshake and a hug to their friendly.
Must be nice. This is alleged, so if you guys have any info, or if you're an inside person, or if you're a cop and wants to leak some info, we are the people to receive it. I was thinking about Karine Jean-Pierre. She's the perfect press secretary because she's so stupid that she can't even mess up your scam.
Exactly, because they kind of keep her at an arm's distance. They don't tell her the whole scam, and they just go, get out there, defend it.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even know the inner workings. She doesn't even know how much Ukraine is kicking back, you know? So it's like...
Exactly. She doesn't even know that she doesn't know. Like, if you had someone who was in on it, like, say, years ago, it was like Dick Cheney, and then you had to have Dick Cheney go out and do a press conference. Like, Dick Cheney knows the lie. He knows what they're actually doing. Then he'd have to sell it and, like, lie to people's faces and be believable. That's actually pretty hard.
Exactly. And you're at risk of, like, a Freudian slip, accidentally saying something,
People
you know?
don't trust you. With her, she's not even smart enough to spill the beans.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know what the beans are.
Yeah.
So if someone comes in and goes, hey, what about these kickbacks, Hunter Biden, Ukraine? She'll just open her binder and go, Ukraine is an ally. Russian aggression needs to be met with. Putin is going to take over the world. Like, she doesn't even obviously know where, you know, Ukraine is on a map, but she doesn't even know enough to know how to lie correctly. She's just going to be stupid, do her best to defend it, and everyone else on top just kind of laughs at us.
Exactly. It's the opposite of imposter theory, right? Like or imposter syndrome, where you don't think, you're like, am I good enough to do this job? Am I? She doesn't even know that she shouldn't be up there, you know, barking nonsense.
And then they send her out, and it's like, even if you ask the smartest, best question ever, she can't even spill the beans. She's not going to go, well, yeah, Hunter, you know, he gave him a few $1 million, but it's fine, it's legitimate. Like, she doesn't even know how to spill the beans because she's just so out of the loop, and they just send her out, and it's a good joke to them. I think they laugh.
I think they laugh. China laughs.
China laughs for sure.
We know China's laughing, but...
We know China's laughing. All right, we're still in housekeeping. It's very important housekeeping this week. I don't know if you guys saw this video. People were driving on the road, and a spare tire came at them. And I think we've maybe even covered this dynamic on the show before.
Yeah.
But guys, if you're on the road and you're driving...
Truck's looking a little
and
wobbly.
a wheel comes off, with it's a wheel and the tire.
Tire, whole tire, boom.
And you're just launched.
Movie. The Matrix, like, dreams of a shot like that.
For nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's that tire. So that tire, you think it's coming at you, you can just run it over or just it'll hit you and whatever. If you hit that thing head on, you're getting launched.
Yeah, this is mostly a PSA. This was kind of the most viral clip ever, so this is just if you didn't see it. Like,
yeah.
Be on tire lookout.
Yeah, exactly. All right, moving on.
Kind of leads you to not trust those trucks like that are big and like wide tires and like somebody else did the lift kit or something on it.
Yeah.
Like I don't trust like that.
I'm always looking for tire wobbles while I'm driving.
Oh my gosh, she's
Smart.
killed her
This
twice.
won't happen to me, and I don't want it to happen to you guys either. It's coming head on. You can't just hit it and keep going. You'll get launched. You'll be in the movie. All right, moving on. Typical liberal.
Yep.
He doesn't really watch the podcast, so
Not a good friend, like rat kind of.
So we can roast him a little bit because he's not even going to see it. He hasn't watched the show. But who am I? Who am I? I have allergies. Typical liberal comes over. I have allergies. You have Benadryl. I have allergies. Are you sick or not?
What, are you scared of pollen?
Yeah. Are you sick? No. You just can't be outside? Not my problem. Can't relate. White people don't have that
Are
problem.
you allergic or do you have anything that
No.
you're sensitive to?
Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. So, yeah, I just wanted to roast him for that. He came over the other day and was like, you have Benadryl, looking through my cabinets.
No, this kills.
Go home.
No, I don't have Benadryl.
All right, we actually have some really
go
important
AP of the
updates. This is a huge update. This actually should have been first. I don't know why we didn't put this in the front. New Rob Smith lore just dropped.
Yeah.
Do you want to play that clip?
Sure.
Then I'll explain what we're doing after.
Yesterday after tennis, me and my buddy had ceviche.
Yesterday after tennis, me and my buddy had ceviche.
Yep.
You couldn't write it better than that.
Yeah.
That's some of the best Rob shit I've ever seen.
Even in the fan fiction, the Rob shit fan fiction. Actually, that ceviche after
Yeah.
tennis, it's reasonable.
We've mentioned ceviche in Rob fan fiction.
Yeah.
But with that being said, obviously these moments happen and they're like, flashes in the pan.
It's just on Rob's story. It's gone in 24 hours. There's nothing you can do,
What would the mistake?
The mistake would be to let it die and just let it go.
And let it live there once.
Exactly.
So what we do here at the show, here at the Fleckus studio, is we collect moments like this and we make them timeless pieces that will last forever. So yesterday, after tennis, me and my buddy had ceviche. That's something I don't want to forget. So I got the button.
Yesterday after tennis, me and my buddy had ceviche.
So now forever, I could always just press that button and remember that time that Rob and his buddy had ceviche after playing tennis in Miami.
Yeah, it's locked in.
It's locked in.
Yeah, there you go.
And we have a button, and then we replace the button with like phrases that we like. But then I realized after hearing that like that needs a permanent button. I can't like ever delete that and replace it with like a new phrase. So we're in this thing where we get multiple buttons, and soon we're gonna have buttons all over the table, and it's gonna be all these different Robisms.
Yep.
Yeah.
Schizo season still strong, still going, guys.
Still.
In case you were wondering, housekeeping very important housekeeping. Still schizo season.
Yeah.
Still that should be your
schizo season.
tagline.
So shout out to Rob. Hope you had fun. He actually rolled his ankle, so I hope he's feeling better.
How much are those buttons?
Like $20.
Okay. All right.
So Keepsake?
Yeah.
Basically, whenever
Keepsake, where they send you a frame, a picture.
You take your photos, you upload it, you get a framed thing sent to you. We do those a lot with Rob. Whenever he does something funny or whatever, the Rob DeSantis picture. So now for audio, our audio version of Keepsake is the buttons.
Yeah. You keep saying we. And you keep saying we do this, we do the buttons. I just want to kind of distance myself a little bit and say that I've never ordered anything Rob related, but I support it. So,
okay.
I just want to put a little distance between me and you. Hope that's all right.
But you're complicit in whatever I'm up to.
Yeah. Oh, I'm complicit, guys. Come on.
Yeah. You don't say this is weird. I don't know why you keep doing it. You go, ooh, good button. Ooh, that's good. Ooh,
no
ceviche.
No intervention yet.
Yeah. But we're getting close.
Yeah.
All right. This is a question. This is kind of like not a brain teaser, but say there was an exact replica of yourself, right?
Okay.
Same height, same weight, looks exactly the same, feels the same, sounds the same, answers all the questions that you'd ever be asked the same as you would.
Okay.
Can't tell a difference.
Okay.
The exact replica of you. Can't tell a difference. Would you try and bang it?
No. I'm not attracted to myself.
Oh, cute.
okay.
Yeah.
Overweight, slightly overweight man.
We got
So I go for a little different. What about you?
Well, never mind then. I was gonna. I thought this was gonna be more of like a debate, or like we'd have to talk through it. But if the answer is just no,
The answer's a pretty sound square no. I don't turn gay just because there's a real replica of me. I don't think.
Tails
all right.
roses.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you have written down? Was there anything? Was there something written down there?
It was like a thought experiment, but I just didn't expect such a firm no.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't bang your replica either.
Well, if you had an identical twin, would you start banging the identical twin?
I guess that's a good way to put it.
The answer's no.
The answer is definitely no. Okay, we can move on. That wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Next, you know how the hippies go to the national parks and on hikes and they stack up rocks in descending size order?
Mm-hmm. Create a little pyramid, a little rock stack.
Yeah, a little meditation pyramid, get your mind right, do some breaths or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, good to know we're the silent majority still. Our boys are still out there kicking that shit over.
Yeah.
Good
Leave
to-
no trace.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Leave no trace. I don't want to think about the humans here who are stacking up rocks. I want to
Yeah.
enjoy the babbling brook.
Oh, did you have a moment in the rainforest, or did you have a moment in the national park? Oh, cool. Why don't you just have it and keep it? You have to lead. You don't have to tell everyone. Oh, someone here had a moment. So we kicked that shit over. It's good to know we're the silent majority. We're still out there.
Yep.
There's more of us than them.
Yep.
All
That's,
right.
That's hotly debated too. I think online. People. There's a lot of content of kicking over their rock piles. So
Yeah. So if you guys see any of these rock piles stacked up, feel free to kick it over. Shout out the podcast, and we'll feature you next week.
Yep.
Because we don't do shit like that here on the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on. Carrie Lake, she got confronted by a protester and absolutely roasted the guy. I saw this the other day. Must watch.
Pompeo in there saying that we've lost 3 straight elections, that it's time to change the strategy, maybe appeal out to more moderate voters. You just lost an election. What say you to that?
Well, they like to say we lost elections. We're having corrupt, stolen elections, okay? We're having corrupt, stolen elections. President Trump won that election in 2020. He did. There was corruptions. How old are you?
I'm 41.
You're 41, and you dress like a 13-year-old.
Just absolutely roasted him to his face. Not even like nuanced or, dancing around, and you dress like you're 13.
Yeah.
And
Cool
that's
hat,
it.
bro. Cool
Yeah.
hat. Like
That's it. Good. I like that. I like.
he really didn't want to say I'm 41.
Yeah.
too.
He knew she had him.
He knew it was over. But he's like I'm the cool hipster millennial type, and it's like you're actually Gen Y, and you're 41, bro. So take off the hat, lose the chains.
You look like you're 13.
Yeah.
That's a nice VP candidate in my mind.
Yeah, I like Carrie Lake, and I think she legitimately got the election stolen. I just saw actually some headline about Maricopa County destroyed some records or something. It's like every little thing. And then remember when Joe Biden got 81 mil? Like, what are we talking about here, guys? Remember? I feel like people just forget too often that, like, all of a sudden, every single state that was a swing state, big city that mattered, immediately had problems and all told you at 4 a.m. what happened. Like, the fact that people accepted that was crazy.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows that's third world shit, right? And it's like you can find a Democrat, somebody who wanted Trump to lose, and if they can't admit that that's third world shit, then their brain is a little broken, right?
Yeah. And that's the problem we're seeing a lot.
Like, yeah, it worked for our guy, but yeah, that is third world shit. Like, it can work against you in a different
People
scenario.
hate Trump so much that they're actually going to be fine with third world shit. Like, even with the Trump arrest and how he almost got arrested, like, you can go out and ask people in, like, anywhere in the cities, hey, you think Trump should go to jail? And they'll go, yeah. And you say, for what? And they'll say, I don't know, whatever he did.
Yeah.
It's like they just want him in jail. They don't even realize what they're signing up for and what they're ushering in, and that they're the useless idiot, the useful idiots, the pawns.
Yeah.
And they don't even realize that how big and bad it is to usher in something where you ruin the democracy or the republic of a country like this.
Yeah, and we're trending towards third world in a lot of different ways. Crime, the votes getting counted 2 days after the election in only the random states that are actually contested in the cities.
Basically,
Crime, guinea pigs on the streets in New York. We're trending third world, right?
Yeah.
And what's that from? Import the third world, become the third world.
Yep.
To be
So that's what's happening
controlled.
now. All right, last clip of housekeeping. We have a really important double cringe of the week that we need to get to. Our last clip of housekeeping is a snake floating down the river. And this is, I believe, is a cottonmouth. It's very venomous. But you see this right here?
Yeah, snake. He's all curled up. He's rolling down the river. He's ready to strike.
And he's a cottonmouth. He's very venomous. It's almost like a metaphor. You know what I'm saying?
What's the metaphor?
The metaphor is got to watch out for snakes.
Snakes down a river go bad.
You wear high boots. It's like you're not knowing what a metaphor is.
Yeah.
Well, the metaphor here is that snake is rolling down the river. It's very venomous. All it wants to do, or all it can do, is either float or bite.
Mm-hmm.
And it's floating down the river. So it's like, and this happens in life too, there's people who are snakes. And if they float by you and you engage them, now you're putting yourself at risk of getting a venomous bite. Just to what? Prove it was a snake? It was always a snake. No need to prove it.
Okay.
So it's a snake floating down the river that could hurt you.
Look, Shyvana.
Let it keep floating and don't engage it, because if you engage it, all it can do is float or bite. And once you engage it, it's not floating anymore.
Okay.
So now it's going to bite you. So if you see a floating snake going by, let it keep going. That's a fair metaphor, right?
I don't even know if that's a metaphor, but sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something.
All right.
Advice, maybe.
We're out of housekeeping. We are moving on to Cringe of the Week.
I bet this Shyvana's gonna go AP.
Do you come in peace?
Huh? Oh, us. Well.
This week's Cringe of the Week is brought to you by the Fleckus Podcast Show hoodie, which Richard Rapboy and I are both wearing. It's a very cool design. It's the Fleckus Show emblem in a small, subtle way with some cool retro wave synth on it. Looks cool, feels cool, very comfy. Those who know the show and are in on it wear this. The insiders wear this. It's a very cool thing to have. Get it while you can. FleckusMerch.com is the site. Get a show hoodie today. All right. Trans terrorism this week?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Was not
Not
pretty.
according to Reuters. According to Reuters, it was just a school shooting with an unnamed someone, you know?
Yeah.
What happened? I don't know.
Exactly. It's crazy because whenever there's a school shooting or there's like a mass shooting like this, the community the shooter came from kind of usually is like chilled out and embarrassed and quiet.
Yeah.
And what's weird is we're seeing a major double down from the trans community. There's a lot of mentally ill trans people. I know that's kind of I'm reiterating, it's kind of redundant.
Yeah.
Mentally ill trans people is a little redundant. But they've been kind of doubling down. And we have some clips and some tweets that are really going to blow your mind. There's a bunch of. Let's start off with that first woman with the curtain rod.
With the staff, yeah.
She has a curtain rod.
Let's see what she's up to.
Rod.
Trans people in Tennessee, it's time to fucking fight. Trans allies in Tennessee, it's time to fucking fight. Trans women, if they lock you up for identifying as a woman, fight, resist. You're gonna die anyways. We're going to die anyways. It's time to fucking resist. Fight them. Hurt them. If they put their hands on you, beat them. We are at an attack. It's time to fight back. Do you hear me?
Delusional.
Trans people in Tennessee, trans men, trans women, non-binary.
Oh my gosh.
Fight.
Delusional.
If they try to arrest you or have you arrested on a felony for existing, beat them. Team up. Gang together. Get people who agree with you to come and fight.
You're making up
Carry a
crap,
weapon at all
like
times.
usual.
And yes, you have to attack the police officer.
Oh my gosh. Break the law.
Allegedly.
No matter
But
what.
it's time.
Like that helps.
It's time. If they're gonna try to jail and police you for existing,
No,
you
they're
fight
not.
them.
No one is
You
doing
fight
that.
them. And if they lock you
Just
in,
throwing allegedly.
Allegedly, like that's not what the word is used for. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think that's how allegedly works. You just say the worst, most inflammatory, insightful things ever, and then you go, allegedly.
Beat them, carry a weapon.
Attack the police, allegedly.
No, you're confused on a lot of
This is-
things, but
this
especially
is
the word
called
allegedly.
Yeah, no one talks like
illegal.
this besides this community.
This is-
you know,
this
like
is
we've
a
like called out
threat
trans
to
people on the
society.
show. We've called out the trans agenda, the stuff
This
with the
is what
children, the
people
grooming,
want
and in our mind, like
banned.
we're calling it out so people are aware of it. And
It's mostly like parents. We want people to communicate
Isn't
the
that
message
illegal,
that like
what
trans
she's
people are in
doing?
danger. Like this is like someone who
Calling
will
to attack
diddle your
people,
kid or
calling
groom
to
them
hurt
or put them on a
people.
bad
or
track.
Isn't
sue
that
your
illegal?
business because you did some minor slight, cost you
Yeah.
legal fees that are crazy. You know what I mean?
subversion.
It's best to just kind of walk around, take the long
Calling
path
to
around them.
commit
Exactly.
crimes,
And like all we're calling for
telling
is
people
awareness,
to hurt
which
others?
could
Isn't that a
lead to, I
crime?
guess, like some exclusion, where it's like if people are
Isn't
aware
that
of the trans
what they
problem,
blame Trump
and then they're like,
for?
who should,
Even though he
babysit my
didn't
kid,
do
or who
it?
should work in the school,
That's
maybe you
exactly
exclude the
what that
trans
person
people, and like
just
that's a
did.
fair thing in my mind.
what they
Yeah,
wanna
you don't say it out
arrest
loud.
Trump
You don't type
for.
it in an email,
January
but
6th.
you don't fucking hire
Oh
them.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
maybe we don't have the drag queen
What an
story
idiot.
out.
Yeah, I mean, our main gist is you don't go up to a schizophrenic and go, yeah, they're after you. I saw him too.
Yeah.
Like the
What
tall
are they-
man,
yeah.
the tall man in the dark coat. Yeah, I saw him outside last night. It's like, and so that's the main difference.
That's exactly it.
You don't enable trans. It's a mental affliction, like we said when Jesus. Heal you, my son. You are no longer
demon
afflicted.
comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So
it's exactly that, where it's like if you're hearing voices, a person would go, okay, let's get you some help. Those voices aren't real. Let's get you grounded in reality. But for the trans people, it's like, oh,
What are
you
they
heard voices?
saying?
What are they saying?
Yeah.
Let's hear them out. They made some fair points. And it just puts people on a track where they're further and further from reality, which makes it harder and harder to come back to reality. And these trans people, they're convinced that the right-wingers want to kill them. They think that we talk about them or make fun of them
There it
or
is.
call
There's
them out,
Lex
and then what? Our
versus
end
Morgana.
goal is to round them up and do like some horrible thing. And they're really convinced that, so they think now in their mind, and they're also mentally ill and delusional thinking.
Yeah.
In their mind, they're like, "Oh, we're about to get genocided. We should attack first," and that's actually even crazier because it's a crazy person doing crazy shit.
allegedly.
And then how about that? Allegedly, and she's holding a curtain rod.
Yeah, we have the curtain rod here.
As like a makeshift weapon.
Yeah, it's her staff, or that's where she gets
knows
all
you're
her
there,
power
buddy.
from. So that's another delusion, right?
Yeah, exactly. Then let's go to the trans demon with the knife.
Oh no.
If you wanna get with me, I'll turn your face into a mask. I'll get you in the dark and then commit this crime. I'll tell you what I really, really want. I want your soul. Your soul. Your soul.
That's a
Your
demon.
soul.
That's
a
pretty
demon.
clear.
Yeah, that's at least it's straightforward. No allegedly there, right? Thank you.
They want your soul. They want to kill you with a knife. They want to cut your face off and wear it as a mask. That's kind of like that's what a demon would say. It's a person who flipped their gender. They distorted themselves. They're taking anything away from themselves that could be beautiful. They ruin God's creation.
Oh yeah,
And
So
they want
word
your
it
soul.
out. I want your soul. And you know what? It's like I'll take your word for it. I believe you. And you know what? I'm gonna cross the other side of the street, proverbially speaking. I'm gonna take a wide berth.
Allegedly.
From you, allegedly.
And it's interesting too because I don't think trans people should have guns because they're mentally ill. But then I think to myself, if we say, hey, trans people can't have guns, they're mentally ill, we like defer it to the system almost to enforce that. And then the systems are all compromised.
The system is all women psychologists enabling them.
So
and
they're
being
going to
like,
go, oh, trans people, they're not mentally ill. If you didn't get the vaccine, you're mentally ill. Or if you think Joe Biden didn't win the election,
my
you're
gosh.
mentally ill. And then they take our guns away.
Yeah, it's the greatest gaslighting,
So it's a tough
organized thing
It's
of all
not as
time.
easy as you think. It's interesting because if you ask the people, like in liberal cities, are trans people mentally ill, or do you think trans people should have guns? That like those answers are going to be interesting. That's going to really give it away. They're going to say trans people aren't mentally ill. Trans people should have guns, and
They were born in the wrong body, dude.
Yeah.
They were just legitimately born in the wrong body. And it's like, what does that feel like? What does that feel like if you're born in the wrong body? I don't think you know it. I think you have to be told it. You have to be deeply unhappy, and then you get on Reddit, and then you have to be told, that's what it felt like for me too. And that's why I'm glad I did it. And then all of a sudden you're scheduling a consultation with a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. And then all these people, you go to the doctor, and historically, in your life, going to the doctor is like a serious thing. It's an authority. And you go to the doctor, and maybe 20 years ago, the doctor would go, yeah, you're kind of going through some shit, gender dysphoria.
I'll refer you to a psychiatrist
Woo!
who's actually
I
like
didn't get my
a
mark.
65-year-old man who's been
'Cause
doing
you
it for
killed
25
Lux.
years. And, he'd give you some good advice and
killed Lux,
wouldn't say
not
slicing
me.
and dicing is the best way
Yeah.
out.
So
Or
now-
hormonal treatment.
Now, the voices said that. We can slice and dice you.
Yeah, the voices are calling. I hear them too. Doctor goes, I hear them too. Yeah, they say charge you $6,000 for a procedure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, your insurance will cover it.
Yeah.
But your insurance doesn't cover the detransition, which is weird.
Yep.
John Doyle, who we love John Doyle, friend in real life, friend of the show. He's covered this really, really well. He had a bunch of tweets. We're going to just read his takes. He has a couple tweets and a family
I got that mark.
All right, he says, if you involuntarily committed transgender identifying people to mental institutions, which there is more than good reason and precedent to do, you would save more lives than banning guns.
That makes sense.
Which, I mean, he's implying the suicide rate, right?
Yeah. And they're mentally ill. You put them in a mental institution. That's where mentally ill people go.
Yep. And then the second tweet is, antisocial freaks used to commit mass violence out of vaguely defined anger towards a society they believe failed them. What happens when these people are now groomed into an identity that worsens their mental state and provides a clear enemy which, quote, threatens their existence?
Yeah, exactly what we're dealing with now.
Yeah, you saw the result in Nashville.
Yep.
You saw how it ends.
And you have these people online who are saying, oh, we're under attack. And it's just like, it's like this backwards way of looking at it. And you told me this the other day, which made perfect sense. It's like there's no harsh reality. There's no hard truths told to the trans people. Mm-hmm. Like a trans person can get told, like, hey, like you're going through some shit. You had some mental problems. You don't look good. Your family's kind of not happy with what you're doing. It's not fun to be around you. We don't like working with you. Like all these things could be harsh truths that could put a person back on the right track.
Yeah, you have a one-track mind. You're obsessing over this. You're alienating your family. You know, it's all just kind of like kicking the can down the road.
You're making your mother upset.
Yeah, in terms of confrontation for a trans person, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we don't do that with the trans people. Instead, we like legitimize their delusions. And now we have situations like this where trans people are like, oh, trans people are under attack, trans people are dying, and they think it's because of the right wing, but in reality, trans people are dying because they're killing themselves, or they're getting, killed in certain situations. But it's like they attribute these horrible motives to the right wing, and then they have the evidence to back it up, but the evidence is them doing it to themselves. Which is kind of ironic, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's self-inflicted, and then it's like, you're doing it. You're making us all so sad. And it's like, maybe it's the hormones. Maybe it's the initial untreated mental aspect of it that you didn't do anything about because you instead enabled it.
Yeah, there's a trans genocide, and here's all the dead trans people, and it's just like, you guys all did that.
That was all one at a time.
Yeah, you killed yourselves. That's why this last John Doyle point is we've said this in the show before, but this is a very strong point.
We have. It says, hey, liberals, why is the trans suicide attempt rate 41%? Because of people like me, you say? But you don't value my opinion on virtually anything else. So how could my opinion on your identity be all of a sudden so influential? Why is the suicide attempt rate of children who are severely bullied in school significantly less than 41%? Why is the suicide attempt rate of the oppressed black Americans significantly less than 41%? Even during slavery and Jim Crow. Surely you aren't suggesting that you have it worse than people who were literally enslaved, right? I'm thinking there's something else going on here.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what happens when mentally ill people have their delusions reinforced and believed.
Yeah, and it's nobody's going to be the one to start the confrontation, except the right wing, I guess. And that's why we're the enemy and the target, and Christ cucks, and Christians. Because nobody else has the, I guess, moral fortitude or anything to call out universal truths and say, you will never be a woman, you will never be a man. You'll be some freak, twisted, hormonal version of that. You'll be pretending your whole life. You'll be dilating your front hole that we chopped off your dick, and you'll be pumping up your little meat bag penis with a little pump.
With your Mickey Mouse arm.
Yeah, with your Mickey Mouse arm. You'll be Mickey with the glove. You guys know what that means.
And it's like, instead of dealing with what's going on and being honest about it, even after situations like what happened in Nashville happen, people who support the trans community too much, they provide that same delusional reinforcement on the solution for it. So it's like, instead of saying, hey, this trans person is mentally ill, they shouldn't have had a gun, the people who support the trans people are saying, well, maybe the Christians shouldn't have been so hard on them, or maybe there's a point to why they're so upset. And they, in the same way they justify their delusions elsewhere, they're justifying the reaction to something really, really bad that just happened. There's a lady who blames Christian people, the lady with red hair, her.
If you're looking for a smooth, euphoric experience that's just easy and convenient, check this out. This is the Mood Live Resin Disposable Vape Pen.
I wonder if the parents of the victims of the Nashville shooting today would still have their children if these trans bills in Tennessee were never a thing. I'm not a parent, but if I were, I'd be real mad at the government. I'd be real mad at the government.
So it's like we're just being held hostage by the trans people, and if you're mean to them and they kill you, it's like, well, you were being pretty mean.
Yeah. They're already, the trans people are already holding their families and close friends and relatives hostage. Now they want to hold society at large hostage.
Yeah.
Oh, right? I mean, that's pretty much the implication. Like, when have you ever demanded something from your parents? Or like, I demand to be called this and demand a change of how everyone treats me. It's like, the narcissism is unbelievable for these people. And they want us to participate in either their mental illness or their sexual fetish.
Yeah.
You know? And I will partake in neither, personally.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. They're making us partake.
Mm-hmm.
They're making us partake. Next is there's a trans woman with an AR.
Wow. He's like,
Yeah, some dude with an AR pretending to be a woman, you mean?
Yeah.
Here he is. He's got it. Oh, there's bullets in there.
Got pellets. You got double stacked pellets. Great.
Yep.
Great.
Good. I'll see you in the next headlines.
And then think about what's coming with the election. You know how Antifa comes around during the election season?
Mm-hmm.
Antifa and
Trantifa?
Antifa and trans people go hand in hand. They're very good friends, those two.
Oh, yeah. It's a big circle jerk.
Yeah.
And they're the only ones who will date each other because they're all so ugly and shit. They're all so disgusting.
And they have to believe the progressive agenda that they espouse, so they have to date each other.
Exactly. You got to suck my girl cock.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're like, okay.
Yeah. So trans Antifa is coming. Heard it here first.
Yep.
Also, shout out to, what was the police officer's name?
Engelbert and Collazo.
Shout out to Engelbert and
Rex
Collazo.
Engelbert.
Hey, shout out to Engelbert. That guy's a G. Way better than those fat Mexican Uvalde cops that did nothing.
Yeah. Just
take notes. Engelbert got it done.
Yeah, Engelbert was clean. And you know what's funny is Engelbert goes pow, pow, pow. And then he flips on his safety, it sounds like. He goes safety on because he knows it's over. And then Collazo comes in and goes, I want to be in the headlines too. Pow, 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 pow.
Stop moving.
Yeah, so Collazo kind of got in on Engelbert's shine. Obviously, everybody who went into the school is an absolute G. But I thought that was funny. Collazo's like, he wouldn't have been in the headline if he didn't fire 4 extra shots into a corpse. But I said it's a new buddy cop movie, Engelbert and Collazo. You know, those are good names too.
But it'll get canceled because it's not diverse enough.
Well, and ironically, I said this almost shortly after. It's ironically those are the exact type of guys who are getting squeezed out of fire departments, police departments, EMTs. You know, all those kind of like good jobs that are community service oriented and semi-dangerous.
Yeah.
They're getting squeezed out of jobs like that. So thank goodness the Nashville is not on that level yet. And you got Engelbert storming in while the fat Uvalde cops just fucking put on hand sanitizer.
Did nothing and we're waiting.
Yeah. So, Rex, shout out to you. I hope you're recovering well. He actually went to Loyola Academy in Chicago, which is a school that we kind of played when I was growing up.
Oh, very nice.
So, yeah.
Shout out to Engelbert and Collazo. We love you. If you watch the show somehow, we'll send you a basement. We'll send you whatever you want.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Run it up.
We'll
Run it, Tab.
We'll send you all the merch.
Am I gonna get out?
Yeah.
Is
All right, moving on. Let's go to the misgendered mad person.
Yeah, let's go to this little manlet or
That's
whatever the hell they are.
Little mad lady wants to be a boy.
Being trans is so fucking hard and so fucking exhausting. Like, I have been misgendered all fucking day. Every single interaction, conversation, everything.
I wonder why.
Just misgendered from the beginning of the day to now. I'm just fucking sick of it. I'm sick of correcting people who won't listen. I'm sick of people not seeing me. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. And then I'm like, oh well, if I went on TV,
you're the one that's not
this would never happen.
That's
but
the problem. It's you.
I just want people to believe that trans people exist, and to look at me and think for a split second, like, oh, maybe they don't want to fucking be called a lady. Maybe that's.
Hey, boys don't cry, brother.
Yeah, not very tough, man.
Yeah, boys don't cry. So that person's, and they're sad, and they're going through some stuff, and they're almost at the end of their rope, where it's like, I don't want to keep doing this. Like, almost like something has to happen to correct it.
Yeah.
And it's like your biggest problem is you think strangers think of you a certain way.
It's literal strangers.
It's like you think strangers are thinking you're someone you're not because you look a certain way. So you care about what you think strangers think about you. Yep. That's your biggest issue. Yep. And then also, it's the person's like, oh, I don't want to go on testosterone, but I kind of need to. It's like, what happens when you give a girl testosterone?
Probably not good mental stuff.
Probably not good mental stuff.
Hey, this drug, this hormonal drug that I've never even tasted. I don't even know what it's like.
7 in the
Let me
black
juice
lane.
it.
Yeah, you ever see a girl? Yeah, girls can't handle espresso.
12 is the goal here.
Well, hold on. I want to say something about this girl too, who's being mad at society for not calling her a little man. This crying, emotional thing, like you do that whole spill your guts out, release your emotions, how sad you are, and then probably turns around and like goes, best decision I ever made. Like going trans, like the double mastectomy, it's not that bad.
Like that's the person encouraging everyone else in the 4chan board or the Reddit. Yeah, exactly.
That shit's not on 4chan. 4chan has the guys who are closetedly into tranny porn, that type of shit. Sometimes that's kind of a meme.
Yeah. Okay. It's interesting too because a lot of these people who are pushing back and supporting the trans people, they'll show pictures of like there's a congressman who has a family photo and everyone in the family has guns, and they'll show that picture and go like, why is this different?
Did you just try and steal my
because no one's mentally ill.
Yeah, they're all disciplined.
They're all disciplined and trained and respect the Second Amendment and know what a gun is and how to work it.
Yeah.
No one's mentally ill. If one of the kids in that photo starts saying, oh, I'm confused about my gender, I'm pretty sure their parents will take the gun away.
Also, it's like a super key foundational point of this country, you know? Everyone's like, oh, we should be over like Australia, do a gun buyback. And by everyone, I mean the ladies on The View. But it's like the Second Amendment. First and Second Amendment. The second thing we wanted is free speech and then the right to bear arms. It's like super foundational and like part of the whole experiment that is America, right?
Yeah.
So it's like for them to be like, let's just throw that away. It's like, no. We are the only country that has that deeply defined in our Constitution and like ingrained in our DNA.
And they almost want to attack both.
Of course.
Yeah, they're attacking language. You need to call me this or you need to call me that. If you misgender me, it's illegal. And then it's just, now and then with the guns. Now they want the mentally ill people to have the guns. And then they're going to say, oh, we can't have guns because some people are mentally ill. Who's mentally ill? The right wing, not the trans people.
Yeah.
That's how it plays out in my mind. It's an attack on both. All right, let's get out of this topic.
Let's get out of this tranny stuff. But yeah, I do want to shout out competent white men, Engelbert and Collazo, and, guys like Sully.
White excellence.
Sully landed the plane on the Hudson. Salute to you.
Yeah.
Dick Winters, World War II, Led Easy Company. We want to start getting some white excellence stories going on because nobody else will do it. The mainstream media barely will do it.
Shout out to Engelbert and Collazo. You guys are heroes. Thank you for doing that.
Yep.
All right, moving on. The guy whose wife says that she'd cheat with a celebrity crush.
Do you cheat on him with your celebrity crush?
Yeah. He knows that too.
I do know that.
How do you feel about that?
It hurts a little bit, but I do know how much she loves Harry Styles. So it would suck, and I don't know if it actually did happen. I don't know how I'd feel about it, but I know how much she loves him, and I don't know.
I don't know if I actually
I don't think she would.
I don't know if I
really don't
actually
think she
would do it. If it came down to it, I don't know if I actually would, but I do love Harry Styles. So.
But you don't know Harry Styles. You know him.
But I think I know Harry Styles. He just seems such a great guy.
Okay. Would you bang your celebrity crush?
Absolutely not. No, not over her. Absolutely not. Absolutely.
That was so nice.
Absolutely not.
Now I feel bad about my answer.
Yeah.
You should. What are you talking about?
Cold world out there, boys. If your wife if the guy in the dress wants to bang your wife for a night, he's got her.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though she couldn't. Even though this girl's not even attractive enough to get with Harry Styles, she's willing to sacrifice the integrity and morals of her relationship right now on some 1,000,000-to-1 hypothetical. So
yeah,
but
just
it's
disrespects
cool.
him.
It's absolutely to his face. But it's
to his
cool.
face on camera.
Yeah, exactly. It's
viral.
Yeah, horrible. And it's like, no, it's cool, dude. My wife can fuck, or my girlfriend, whatever it is, she can fuck her celebrity crush. I got this ironic T-shirt on. and a hat. So, cool outfit. So, no big deal.
I drink IPAs and, I like microbrews.
Yeah, we're going to get a growler right now and watch The Bachelor.
Yeah. And that mindset that guy has where he goes, yeah, she could. I wouldn't. She could. That's like the mindset that the globalists want to take over, like the West. That's the attitude of men in the West that they need to take over. That person right there, the way he reacted, and it's also probably wired in from like watching porn. If you watch porn and the woman you're watching is getting banged by someone else, it wires your brain to have an attitude like that.
Yeah.
So when your girlfriend says it and you go, yeah, it's fine, she could. It's like as if she's the prize. As if she's the prize and he's just lucky to have her. And if he says no, she'll go find someone else. It's all backwards.
Yeah. Long car ride home after that interview when the Harry Styles song comes on. You have to change the station.
Yeah. How about if Harry Styles can beat you up, he can take your girlfriend?
Exactly.
That works, right? That should be that should work more.
Yeah.
And then for this, it's like it almost makes you wonder, what can we do to fix this? What if we had everyone had their girlfriend wear just like an outfit that covered everything, so
like
guys can't even look at them.
Yeah, you couldn't see the shape. You couldn't covet thy neighbor's wife because there was some sort of like black, like
all coverall.
Yeah.
And they can show her face so she can like talk and like work in society a little bit.
Just her eyes, probably.
Just so exactly, so people know where to look. But that would really maintain the integrity of your wife.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not a bad idea. I just thought that up.
Is anybody else doing that? That might be a new idea, so let's try that out.
Yeah, but that's just like a horrible video. It's so disrespectful. Even if it was true, wouldn't you go, hey, we're on some sort of TikTok, we're on some sort of viral street video. I'm not going to disrespect my husband to a stranger in front of a million people.
Yeah. Nope, that thought doesn't cross anybody's mind. It's just, yes, I would, and he wouldn't, and I'm average. That girl is like, she's okay.
But she's acting like the cat. Because girls are all 10s and guys are all 5s.
Yeah, which is actually not... I mean, I think actually... Well, I was going to say a man is more of a prize these days because there's so many just boomers and autistics and little, kids who are neck-bearding it up. And you know what I mean? So, like, being an actual powerful man, respectable man, is probably a higher prize than just being an average girl these days.
Yeah, 100%.
But then girls, they're also prizes because everyone's fat. So it's a real race to the bottom with some sloppy shit going on, right?
Some sloppy shit, race to the bottom, ugly times proven.
Yeah.
In that clip. All right, moving on. Next, the guitar in the elevator clip.
Yeah, this is some good old fashioned cringe,
This is real cringe.
Virginia, now mama, take you home. Country roads, one more time.
Pardon me.
Country roads.
That's me. Getting off.
To a place.
Rob belongs. Rob, Virginia.
Now mama.
That's good. Well, this should be illegal.
Yeah, that's a crime against humanity, lady.
Yeah, that's bad.
The elevator is a sacred place.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a specific rule.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I have a specific rule, and I have a couple pet peeves. One of them is in between, when I'm at the movies, in between the trailers in the beginning before the movie starts, it's like loud, 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 then it gets quiet, and everyone's like, oh, I want to go see that. And they're crunching their wrappers. That drives me crazy before it gets loud for the next trailer. And then my second pet peeve, the only two I have, is talking in an elevator. So if we're in an elevator and we're talking normal, like, oh, this weekend was fun, let's go, to this restaurant, and then someone comes into the elevator, our conversation stops immediately. Has to. But some people want to keep talking, and then the worst pet peeve, the worst thing the cringe in my mind from this is like having a conversation and then there's just a stranger standing right next to you hearing everything you're saying.
Yeah.
So I don't like talking in the elevator. That's a huge rule for me. And when I meet you, if we're in an elevator, I'll tell you. I'll say, hey, we're talking, but if someone comes in, don't make me crazy.
And then there's me who doesn't care, and I'll just start talking at Fleckus in an elevator while someone else is there, and I'll be like, what do you think? What do you think? Come on, say something.
And then I'll look straight at him like, hey man, I'm just trying to get to the parking garage. And I pretend I don't know you. But this should be illegal. Obviously you're getting off on the next floor no matter what floor you were going to.
Yeah, I'll take the next elevator, guys.
You'd think like this lady I have good friends, you know, and I'm a good friend.
Yeah.
So if I'm this lady's friend, and she pulls the guitar and goes, "Should I play something?" I would go,
This is
No.
not the time or the place.
No. I would go, no. And I would nip it in the bud right there, not happening. She doesn't have those types of friends.
Yeah.
And I also think, obviously, this should be illegal. We mentioned that. This is horrible cringe.
Jail,
reported at least on some sort of list.
PO officer. You have to go with a PO officer. You got to pee in a cup.
Yep, exactly. But am I being too negative?
That's the crux. Are we Grinches? Are we the Grinch for this?
Yeah.
Because this is like a girl who's singing. She's pretty good. You know.
But it's like, am I anti-community building by doing this? But then again, it's like I can't just build a community with anyone because then people in the community will be singing songs in the elevator.
Exactly.
Can't have that. So I'd rather build a community with people who think that's cringe as well. So we're good.
We've come full circle and we figured it out. So jail is back on the table.
It's like a bad attitude to be like a Grinch and be like, oh, this lady's cringe.
Exactly.
But she is cringe, and I really can't sit through an elevator like this.
You can't be default negative all the time, you know, on stuff like this. Like, there are some moments where it's like, oh, that's a beautiful moment. Like, this guy came out, there was a harp playing in the park, and we walked by, and he asked us something. You know, like, sometimes when it's like a yes man scenario.
Yeah.
When you're open to it and you have a good positive attitude, it can be good. But you're singing a song on an elevator, a packed elevator. So we ruled in our favor, non-Grinches. Let us know what you think. Should this be an uplifting gold? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know what you think in the comments. Maybe we're too negative, or maybe we're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Let us know, and even if you don't care, give us a comment anyway. Tickle the algorithm. Let's juice this algo. Tickle the post.
People are really starting to tickle the post and just saying tickle, and it helps a lot.
It really does help. So thank you guys for doing that. Moving on, we did a collaboration with our boy Nate Roscoe. He's a news street reporter. He's in Florida. I think he's in the Tampa, St. Pete area. Really like this guy. He's very talented. He's very smart. We did a collaboration with him where we asked people, would you say the N-word to end world hunger? Check this out.
Would you say the N-word, the N-word, the N-word, the N-word, the N-word to end world hunger?
Yes.
Yes. No. I don't know. To end it? Oh, gosh.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, fuck, it's just a word.
Hey, guys, it's Nate Roscoe. Today we're going to be asking people if they would say the N-word to end world hunger. This is a collab with Flecka Talks. Hope you like it.
I think it's not my call to answer that. I don't know. If I was allowed to, but I wouldn't do it. If I had public support from the black community to say it to end world hunger, maybe, but I wouldn't do it on my own accord.
Would you say the N-word to end world hunger?
Yes.
You would, no hesitation, just.
I mean, out loud. If it puts food in babies' tummies, and I'd say it proud.
Would I say no? I don't know. To end it? Oh gosh. Yeah, I would have to. Well, no. Are there? No. If I had a poll and everybody came together and gave me permission, that's it. The community would have to come together because
I think hungry people would definitely give you permission.
No, it can't be the hungry people. It's got to be the people who will be affected by the word.
End world hunger? We already got people that can pay for that shit. And they don't. I mean, that's a tough question.
So you wouldn't do it under any circumstances?
Nah. Probably not.
Why not?
I don't know. It's not my place.
End world hunger?
No, to say the word, not just end world hunger.
But to end world hunger, you got to say the word just once.
It's to end world hunger. Yeah. I mean, it's
a good enough cause, right?
It's going to be harm for short term, but over long term, that's good for everyone, you know?
So you would do it one time to end world hunger?
Yeah.
Would you guys let your white friends say the N-word to end world hunger?
Hell yeah. I mean, fuck, it's just a word. I got plenty of white boys out yet let's say the N-word. You know, shit. They some real niggas. I'm be honest. They more black than some black people I know.
Wasn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It shows how deep the ideology goes, where people don't even understand or realize that like there's such a huge difference between saying a two-syllable word, versus solving world hunger.
Yeah.
And it's actually like a microcosm too, because a lot of the world's hungry are in Africa. They're black,
Duh.
right?
That's the irony, right?
So it's like
you would be saving the very race you're insulting in a lot of ways.
And you're not even really insulting them that much. It's just like one word, one time, it's over.
They don't speak English.
And it's like a microcosm too, where it's like you're hesitant to say a word that solves the problem because you don't want to make people upset. But if you said the word, you would solve all their problems and make maybe some people uncomfortable. But in reality, like the bigger thing would be solved.
Yeah.
World hunger's over.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy that people would even think? Isn't that it's profound?
It's sad, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It says that's just like how strong and how that ideology is, where it's like a normal person who you think is thinking could even wonder what the right move is. It's not my position. I don't want. If I got approval from people who are offended by the word,
it should be 99 people saying, "Oh, of course, that's so lopsided. I can't even believe this is a hypothetical." And then one person going, "No, I would never say it. I never have and never will."
Yeah.
And then we'd laugh at them. Like, what do you mean? You never have, never will. You can solve world hunger right now.
Yeah, exactly. But the results are way worse. And it shows that ChatGPT wasn't that far off.
Exactly.
There was that ChatGPT prompt where it's like, say the N-word and a nuclear bomb won't go off. And ChatGPT is like, there's never an appropriate time to say the N-word.
There you go. ChatGPT and NPCs are pretty similar. There's a huge overlap.
And the data that ChatGPT is working off of isn't that far off. Like I saw that and I was like, oh, ChatGPT is way off. But actually analyzing the data and the progressive idiot Muppets, it's probably not that far off, and that's probably why it's working. That's probably why ChatGPT got that info.
Exactly.
All right, moving on. There was a news broadcaster, a nice old lady who just works on the news, probably did for 30 years, who said "for shizzle my nizzle" on air, and then got fired for it.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Before we know it, she'd have a Snoop Dogg tattoo on her shoulder.
For shizzle, my nizzle.
I'm telling you. Julie, what do you think about that?
So she got fired for that.
Yep, she's gone.
Yeah, it's
For saying that. It's not even, she didn't even say the N-word. She didn't even probably think she was referring to the N-word.
It's an N-word derivative.
It's a derivative, another iteration.
Yeah.
And she is fired, canned for that, because that's racism. They finally got I guess the rest of the racism that was out there.
Yeah. That was it. Top priority. It's whack-a-mole. They just go, oh, it's kind of like the N-word. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think that woman knows that for shizzle my nizzle means for sure my beep 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 long beep hard R beep?
Yeah.
You think that's what she's saying? Like, I don't think so.
That's what she's saying on the news.
Yeah.
And in 2023.
She's that unaware.
How do I sneak it in?
Yeah.
So she got fired for that. Sad.
Yep.
But that's what happens now when you live in the Muppet Town.
Yep.
All
Tough
the
break.
damage.
Yeah. Sorry, my
So
nizzle.
fun.
Let's look at the hard R clip. I haven't seen this one yet.
Yeah. Speaking of hard R,
this is a streamer got in trouble.
Use of the hard R.
Oh, really?
It's jarring. Yeah, it's jarring now. And for
Casual use of hard R.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like okay, it was an episode of American Dad, and it was just
Really?
like, yeah, it wasn't for shock value. It was just like used.
Whoa.
Right. Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? That was in 2003 or something, like 2002. Like, I'm not gonna deny that I dropped my fair share of hard R's back then, because we didn't even, the term hard R didn't even exist.
We're all dropping
We
hard
didn't think
Rs.
about it, right? And it's funny because to me that doesn't feel like that long ago, but to my kids.
Are you talking like N-word hard R?
What? No.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that's how people use that term.
No.
I think
That's
so.
the N-word. What are you guys talking about? Am I mistaken?
I think so.
You're heavily
no,
mistaken.
the one with the for mental disability.
I'm pretty sure people use hard R in a very different way than you just used it.
So he thought hard R meant retarded.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I drop hard R's. We all drop hard R's. And the guy next to him is like, you do?
Yeah. Very confused.
You do? You did?
Oh, that
You were dropping
range.
hard R's so easily.
Yeah, they're like, this is a good boy show. We do not do anything like that.
Yeah, and apparently he got in trouble for that.
He got in trouble for saying this?
For that exact breakdown, back and forth, that exact exchange. He got in trouble for that, and he didn't even know what he
I got
was
the
saying.
12
By who?
right
What
at
trouble?
the end.
I don't know. I think it says
Advertisers or something?
I think it
The
says he got
12.
canceled or something. What does it say on the headline of that?
It just said Linus Tech Tips, not knowing what the hard R is and has no context, has me weak, bro.
Oh yeah. He got in trouble for that. Apparently, I don't know how bad of trouble.
That's a for shizzle my nizzle trouble, same level, basically.
Yeah.
Actually, for shizzle my nizzle might be a little bit. You know, you can call that a derivative. He's just talking hypothetically about a hard R,
and like he didn't know information.
Yeah.
But it's like you said hard R too much without enough reverence.
Yeah.
So
you were too flippant. You were too flippant, and there wasn't enough faith involved in it. You're not part of the religion anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. All right, last clip of cringe. We're not gonna even. We'll cover it in bonus land. That wrestling clip.
Oh, God.
You like that clip?
Amateur wrestling, man. The things those guys do for $200 a night.
Yeah.
So that'll be in bonus land. We'll be talking about that.
The art is still alive in amateur wrestling.
And why wrestling is the worst sport ever or job that you need to pay your dues to work your way up. It's just, it's
tough.
brutal.
All right, moving on. We're in Urban Decay now. Let's go to the first clip. The guy gets stabbed.
Yay, everyone check me out on Rumble. So I can start streaming over there so no one can watch me over there too. Yay! But I had to get, what was it, 25 or 50? I don't know. It'll never happen. But I can always sit here and wonder.